nowhere fast. How are we gonna spy on the Decepticons if we can't even find them?
Let's drive down into that riverbed. At least we'll be shaded from the sun.
You got it. Decepticons.
Let's see what they're doing.
The space bridge will open in 5 seconds. 5!
Bridge?
To Cybertron? We'd better get back to headquarters.
Right.
I want to volunteer.
Hey guys, welcome back for today's unboxing video. In the previous video I've unboxed Hover, which is a Bad Cube production called Huff OTS 01. And very cool bot, really liked it. It looks great, it feels good, and I'm just curious how it compares size-wise to the other mini bots I got, because it looked a bit big compared to from what I'm expecting it will be to the other two mini bots I got. Powerglide and Sea Spray, and I'm just very curious how they compare to one another. But I also unpackaged Unique Toys' Blur and a knockoff of Takara Tomi's Bumblebee, and I'm curious how those two will compare size-wise. And today I'm going to be unboxing the Bumblebee one, which whose box looks like this, and I'm expecting it to not like it so much because of all the kibble on the back side, but we'll see how it turns out when I actually hold it in my hand. Pictures sometimes differ from what it actually looks like or feels like when you hold it in your hand. So it comes with a miniature Spike in exosuit, and this is what the box looks like on the side, and the top of course, and the other side with a yellow Volkswagen Beetle, and the back side. And yeah, let's unbox this one. I'm very curious about this. This is the plastic, and let me just open the bag first and then we'll dig into what's inside the plastic. I can already tell that the gun looks pretty cool, I gotta say, so more about that later. And what do we have here? So first off, we got a different faceplate, which resembles his G1 toy faceplate, I guess, but also a little bit Goldbug's faceplate, I think. Oh. We'll see what that looks like in the final pictures and videos where I actually apply to the robot. Then we have extra rear view mirrors, I think these are, which you can apply to the car mode. I probably won't be doing that because it does show up on the robot mode. We have the trading card. Looks like this with the stats, and then we have the manual with the whole transformation on it and how to apply all the accessories on the robot. But what I'm also seeing is that it shows the transformation of Spike in his exosuit, which I was not expecting that he could actually transform. So that's pretty cool. And here we got the transformation itself for Bumblebee. But yeah, we'll see if I actually need it. Kind of expecting I will. And as for the package containing the robot, I guess I'll actually change the camera angle for that. And it's taped together, so let me just cut that loose. There we go. And for the final one. So yeah, here we have Spike in his exosuit, which is not the reason I bought this figure for, but it's a nice accessory to have, I think, and very fitting for Bumblebee to have Spike with him, even though it's the older version of Spike. And I'm not sure if these two actually were in the cartoon together, because I think Bumblebee quite fast changed into a gold bug. But that's yeah, still, it's very nice to have him as in exosuit style. So there's that, and we have his gun, which I already noticed has a very cool blue metallic paint on it. Pretty cool looking. Black grip. We got Bumblebee's spare tire as well, which you can just slide on, I guess. And then there's, inside this little plastic box, there's also an alternate head for Bumblebee, probably with a different facial expression. That's what it looks like. More about that later in the extra videos and photos at the end of this video. And then the car itself. Which looks kind of not properly aligned inside the box, but that might be because of transportation and whatnot. Let me see if I can fix that. The bumper just fell off. Again. Well, I'm not going to be using it in bumper mode or in car mode. I'm not going to be using it in car mode anyways. So I guess I'll just leave it like this. If I squeeze it a little bit, you see less of the gapes in the car mode. But I guess it should be properly aligned. Might have something to do with face. Bumblebee's face is stuck in there, which is not properly moved in the right position. Okay, there are some alignment issues. I'm just going to leave this bumper off because it's probably going to fall off more often. If you want to use it in car mode, just be wary of that. Oh wait, this actually clicks into place now. So yeah, there are some alignment issues in the car mode with this knockoff. I'm not sure if that's the case in the official one as well. But I'm not going to be using it in car mode anyways. This is what the car looks like from the front. The side, if I squeeze it a little bit, the back side, and the other side, and the bottom with some kibble, but that's fine. It rides very nicely. And yeah, let me just see if I can transform this guy. So yeah, from what I've seen in the pictures, that there's a lot of kibble, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a faux chest in there. But we'll see about that. I'm just gonna change the camera angle slightly more downward and make it better visible. Oh yeah, so we've got the spare tire. Not sure. Oh, maybe that's only supposed to be used in robot mode. Could be. So I don't see a place where I can lock this into place. Yeah, not sure about that. All right, let me try and see if I can transform this guy. Well, I think I sort of got it, and I'm not sure about this part. I think I have to move this out of the way a little bit. I have to say that he does look better than I expected, so there's that. I expected a lot worse, actually. There is quite a lot of kibble on the back. I think they could have made that more collapsed. Like this whole part could have, the windows could have folded in. I don't think there's any more left to do here. And I think they could have done a better job with that. I'll get into the articulation and the bad sides of this robot, but I do think it's better, looks better than I expected. So there's that. Now the question is, yeah, I'm gonna look up that part at its crotch to see if that's done properly. Yeah, okay, so that part is not done properly. Has to be moved out of the way, I think. Yeah, it has to be moved out of the way. But so let me just check out how I'm supposed to do that, because I couldn't figure it out. Couldn't tuck it away properly, so let me just see about that. Okay, so that's actually supposed to be one of the first steps. So when you lift, so let me just reverse that. So change this around. So open this up. And then, so this is supposed to go in here. Okay, so I guess this is the way it's supposed to look. It's just sticks out quite a lot, which made me not like it that much from the pictures. And I think his legs are a little bit too skinny, too quirky. Could have been a little bit thicker if they had changed that a little bit, or maybe even longer and thicker. Because compared to his feet and his chest, they do look kind of too short, too thin. But yeah, I gotta say that he does look better than I expected, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, about his articulation and whatnot. No, oh, wait, the only thing, yeah, I gotta point that out. Like, his fists are tucked inside his arms right here, like so. So you have to move them around, flick them around, and it leaves a pretty big gap right here. I don't like it when manufacturers do that. And then there's this little part which made his backlights, his lights at the back of the car. And if they had just added another joint, it could have had actually, like, could have probably fit in there, or just closed it up. And now you have this little piece hanging here. I don't think there's anything else to do with it apart from this. So yeah, they could have changed that. There's a single joint, single hinge in his arm, not double jointed. They could have changed that easily. I like it when they can actually, like, push their lower arms to their upper arms. But yeah, it's not there. And maybe some flaps here to hide the big joint. That would have been better. So his face, his head can move around left to right, 360. Look downwards a little bit, look upwards. That's pretty cool. Pretty nice movement. No wobble left to right. His arms, you can move his shoulders upwards on this joint right here, on this hinge. Oh wait, let me just... So you can move it like that, and that gives quite a lot of options for movability of his upper arm. You can rotate it around, of course. It's on a ball joint. pretty tight joints, I gotta say. That's very nice. Like with knockoff, sometimes they are not that tight. But yeah, you can move them around. He's got a bicep swivel right here. And then the single jointed elbow. And then the fists. Well, aside from them having to slide out from his lower arms, his forearms, you cannot extend, at least I don't think you can, even though I'm expecting, I was thinking that this was a joint, but it seems entirely closed off, so you cannot open his fists. No single fingers, no thumb movement, no finger movement, nothing. So it's just a close grip and that's it. And that's quite lacking, I think. So yeah, that's as far as his arms go. Then he's got the torso rotation, full 360, kick to the front, kick to the back, both about 90 degrees. Extension to the outside, which goes for the arms as well. Then he's got a double jointed knee, so that's pretty cool. Even though it doesn't, yeah, it actually does like extend all the way. So that's pretty cool. And then there's a little movement in the legs inwards or in the feet, and a little dip downwards. Not a whole lot, but I think that if you move this around, you can get a bigger dip, but then it leaves you with this kibble right here. But you can actually sort of manipulate that in the way you want. And that's it for articulation, I think. Pretty articulated, pretty sturdy as well. So that's a definite plus. Yeah, it looks a lot better than I expected. I think that if they had just changed this and maybe made the legs a little bit longer, taller, then I would have liked it a bit more. And then this gaping hole right here. And then there's the most troublesome part, I think, which is the backside, which is this, the backside of the cabin, which locks into place with a pin right here into his back. But if you could have just collapsed this a little bit more, it would have looked a lot better. Just move the windows out of the way, like fold them in. Maybe you can. No, there's no movement in there whatsoever. I'm not seeing any kind of pin or joint or whatsoever. But yeah, so push this in, lock it into place right here. And this is the best you can get out of the back. And I think they could have done a better job in that. And no, I still don't know where the spare tire is supposed to go. I was expecting it to have to go on his back. Okay, so you can take this out and then plug this in like so, which you can actually do in car mode as well. So yeah, you can do that or have him like this, and I think that this actually does kind of looks better, but it's still a pretty big backpack, which is a shame, because if they just changed that, it would have actually looked like a cool Bumblebee. I mean, he kind of looks like the guy from the cartoon, so it's an old figure, of course, and I'm pretty sure that several other manufacturers could do a better job in making a Bumblebee, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. Now, as for Spike, okay, let me just give you guys one more glimpse at Bumblebee here. Yeah, a lot better in hand than from the pictures. As for Spike, I don't really care for the exosuit transformation, and I'm kind of debating with myself if I should actually transform him or not. Yeah, I'm not gonna tinker with this. I'm just gonna do it from the manual. I don't really care for it. So there's a couple of steps. I'll put him next to Hover because I think he's pretty. Bumblebee is a lot smaller than the Hover is, so we'll see about that. So yeah, step one: take off the head, turn it around. Take off the helm and turn it around. Or flip it around. Oh yeah, flip it around. Then make him look upwards. And push this back on again. Then join his legs together, I guess. Yeah, move his arms out of the way. Join his legs together. Yes. Doesn't click or anything. Oh, it does. Oh yeah, at his feet. Okay. So line them up. Then push them in for a little. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but I think this is it. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to push it in here. Okay. Alright, then move his arms downward. A lot of ball joints pop out. So yeah, move his arms downward. And to the front, I think. Yeah, flip these out, the wheels. Move them upwards again. Push them to the side. Well, I think this is it. Maybe squeeze it a little bit more to make everything connect into place. And I really don't care for this mode of the exoskeleton suit, but it does ride and it belongs to this robot apparently. I don't care for it. I just did this for you guys. This is what it looks like. And like I said, maybe I have to squeeze it a little bit more. Is this proper? I think it is. So yeah, pretty cheap, a lot of ball joints which actually separate, kind of annoying, nothing that special, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Anyhow, this is the transformation and review for Bumblebee. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the videos and the photos at the end, where you can see him in different with different facial expressions, pushing the other faceplates on different positions, so you can see his articulation in full glory. And yeah, that's it for Bumblebee MP-21 Volkswagen Bumble. There you go. Later.